What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the T-Dub Show. New and improved, better than ever. Be sure to tune into my social media platforms, Timothy T. Wilkes on Facebook, T-Dub Show on YouTube, and Terrell Godemy Wilkes on Instagram. And also to show your support, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, engage, and last but not least, enjoy the show. Okay, now we can get into the topic. I announced on my page that this is going to be the last time I do videos in this format, both with the T-Dub Show and Terrell Speaks, because I'm making some changes. I'm going to probably start out with videos, and then I'm going to make my way to doing the live streams, because I really want to make improvements to my content, make adjustments, and things like that. I want to go in a different direction. I want to do things better instead of just hearing me talk. I want to do broadcasts on my actual YouTube channels. I'm trying to get those channels up. I'm trying to get those channels, because those channels are dead. Honestly, I get more engagement on Facebook and everything versus YouTube, and I'm trying to change that. I'm trying to actually promote the YouTube channels, just making some change. That way I won't have to focus on so many different platforms and things like that. So eventually I'm going to be moving to YouTube, and I'm already on YouTube, but I'm going to be just solely broadcasting on YouTube. I can share it to different platforms, but I'm gonna be doing it differently. Say that it's time for a change, but I'm gonna be getting into the topic. I'm closing this thing out with the life lessons I've learned throughout my experience and my years, because it helped me get to where I am, and it still helped me move forward in life. And I'm able to continue to apply these messages to past, present, future. I'm able to analyze the past, and so I can do better, make better decisions in the present to have a better future. So, I'm going to start at one life. Life lesson. I'm starting at one. Life doesn't owe us anything. I learned this in life because I used to have this spoiled mentality, entitled mentality, thinking that, okay, life's just supposed to be great just because I'm saved, just because I'm a Christian, and all that kind of stuff, and just because I read the Bible and I see things in the Bible. But the older I got, the more experience with life I got, I learned that life don't owe us nothing. What we put into life is what we're going to get out of life. We're not owed just bountiful blessings just because we confess Christ our Lord and Savior, just because we got saved. That don't mean we're just owed everything in the world, or we just have riches. Because even in Genesis, God told Adam he had to work off the sweat of his brow. He can reap a harvest, he could do whatever he wanted, but he had to work for it from then on. So that doesn't make it's not any different for us Christians. As Christians today, as believers, we have to work for what we get. Life don't owe us nothing. We're not just going to get things just because, all right, my name is Timothy, or my name is whoever. Just because you was born into a certain place, a certain thing, it doesn't mean your life just owes you stuff. You're not entitled to anything. We have to work. We have out here it's mostly survival. We're not owed anything. So I had to learn that lesson. That's number one. Number two, being good alone means nothing. Reason I say that, I learned that too. I used to try to be Mr. Nice Guy, Mr. Good Person, Mr. Good Attitude, but just being good by itself means nothing. They always say, why do nice guys finish last, or why do good people always get screwed over, stuff like that. The reason why is because we make terrible decisions. It's not about how good you are, it's about how wise you are. See, my people are destroyed not because they're not being good, not because they're not goody two shoes, not because they are not nice people. No, people are destroyed lack of knowledge. You need knowledge, you need wisdom, and understand. That's why I preach about that all the time. Knowledge, wisdom, knowledge, understanding. What you got to know what to do. You got to know how to do what to do. You got to know why you're doing it, what you're doing. So, without wisdom, knowledge, understanding, without that stuff, being good, just being a good person doesn't mean anything. There's plenty of good people that's broke. There's plenty of good people that's doing without. There's plenty of good people that don't have anything. There's plenty of good people that's just not it's not where they need to be in life because they don't have the knowledge. They don't have the wisdom. They don't know what to do. They don't know how to do what to do. They don't have to understand. They don't know why they're doing it. They're not walking in their purpose. They're not applying the principles that God gave us. So that just being good alone don't mean nothing, especially you being good to the wrong people. Being good, because you could be good and in turn be disobedient to what God is telling you, because God made it told you to cut that person loose, and you still trying to be good, be Mr. Nice Guy, and he told you to cut him loose. Now even you quote unquote being good, now you operate in the realm of disobedience. So being good means nothing by itself. You have to have wisdom. It's not about people liking you. It's about you following God. You being led by every word that come out of his mouth. It's not about you being liked. It's not about you being popular. It's not about you being just Mr. Nice Guy and trying to please everybody, being a people pleaser. And because I used to do all of that, you used to try to do that stuff. Being a people pleaser, it means nothing. It gets you nowhere. Only thing that's gonna get you anywhere in life, applying principles, applying God's principles to your life, following the rules, following the instructions, obeying God, being obedient. Nothing else matters but obedience. Your obedience. Love is not about how it's obedience. So another life lesson. Cherish the good things in your life while you have them. Number 3, cherish the good things in your life while you have them. If your life is good right now, cherish each and every moment. Cherish each and every minute of it, because things can turn at the drop of a dime. So if you're in a good season of plenty, enjoy that season, appreciate that season, continue, give God his praise, give God his time, give God his due, and thank God, count your blessings in that season, because you don't know when it's going to turn. You don't know when it's going to fail on you. You don't know when you're going to have a drought. You don't know. While it's plenty, you need to be thanking God, praising God. You need to be, you need to appreciate that. You need to take that into account. If you have good people in your life, if you got somebody that's giving you a chance in your life, that's giving you a chance of love, giving you a chance of friendship, giving you a chance of anything. If you have that person, if you have somebody in your life that's giving you a shot, don't take it for granted, because it's not guaranteed that they're going to give you another shot if you screw up. It's not guaranteed. They don't owe you another shot. It's not guaranteed. If you have a good person in your life that's by your side, do not burn that bridge. Do not burn. If they helping you, if they on your team, if they there for you, don't burn that bridge. Whatever you do, don't burn that bridge. For the love of God, don't burn that bridge, because you don't know. Life is too uncertain. Life is too rough. Life is too jacked up for you to be out here without any help. So if you got any kind of support, you need to be thanking God for that support, thanking God for that help. You need to be showing them appreciation, because it's not guaranteed. Life don't owe us nothing. Anything we get is supposed to be appreciated, because life don't owe us nothing. You got people sleeping under the bridge. You got folks that came. We think our parents is hard on us. We think people in our life is hard on us. We think our wife, our husband, we think they hard on us. We think our friends is hard on us. We think that all that. Some people ain't got none of that. Some people sleeping on the bridge. Some people, they wish they had what you had. Some people wish they had the support you had, even though it might not be the best when it comes to getting along and all that stuff. They might get on your last nerve. Some people don't have that. Some people ain't got no parents. Some people, they all they got. If they fail, it's it. It's over. They under the bridge. They homeless. You got folks that's homeless. They ain't got nobody. They can't call mom and daddy. They can't call their friends. They can't call nobody. If you got a wife that's supporting you, she might fuss a little bit. Who cares? Some people ain't got none of that. Some people come home to an empty house, lonely. Ain't got no support. Some people ain't. It's just. I'm just telling you what it is. You got somebody in your corner. Don't burn that bridge. Don't take it for granted. None of that. Appreciate that. Appreciate anything good in your life while you got it. While it's there, appreciate it. Because it ain't guaranteed. It ain't guaranteed to last. It's not promised to stay in your life forever. Cherish that moment while it's there. Because you ain't. It's not. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you now from experience. Number 4, you're not allowed. You're not owed multiple chances with people. Goes into from 3rd to 4th. If you screw up with somebody, they don't owe you another chance to get it right. If they walk away from you and decide they want to do away with you, don't want nothing to do with you, they don't owe. They have a right to do that. If you screw them over, or if you burn a bridge, they don't owe you a second chance. You was lucky they gave you one chance. You lucky the way this world works, the world we living in. You lucky if anybody take time out to care for you and show you appreciation. We lucky because this is right now. It's survival of the fittest. So for anybody to take any time out to give to you, that's a blessing right there. They're not owed. They don't have to. They're not obligated to stay in your life after you done screwed up multiple times. They're not obligated. They don't have to do it. They don't have to sit around while you just messing up, while you just messing them over, while you just telling them and showing them that you don't care, or sending signals that you don't care. You might care, but if you keep sending signals that you don't care, they're gonna believe those signals. So they're not owed multiple chances. They might just walk off and leave you. They say you be blessed, you have a nice life. They have that right to do that. You might not like it. You might wish they could have stuck around, but they're not obligated. So life is not set up to where you just mess up multiple times. Sometimes you only get one shot. Sometimes you only get one chance. That's just what it is. It's not set up to where you can just do what you want, and it's drawbacks. Number 5, nothing worth having comes without sacrifice. Anything that you ask God for, anything that you want from God, how bad do you want it? You want prosperity. How bad do you want it? What do you want to? What are you willing to give up to get it? Time, money, sleep. What are you willing to give up to get it? Family. You want a family. You're gonna have to cater to your wife, your husband. You're gonna have to take time out for the kids. You're gonna have to take time out and spend time with that family. You're gonna have to give your wife her time, your husband his time. You're gonna have to take that time out. No matter what your calling is, even if you're in ministry, you still gotta spend that time with your family. Those kids, that wife, your husband, your spouse, they still demand that time. They still demand those things. You can't stop giving them what you was giving them in the beginning. They're not gonna stick around, because relationships, anything like that, it requires a continuous fire. You have to continue to feed that fire. So when I say that, anything you want, it demands sacrifice. You're gonna have to give up something. I don't care what it is. Anything you feel is worth having. If you want a better lifestyle, if you want a new life, if you want a better life for your kids, if you want to start a business, if you want to improve yourself, you want a better career, if you want a promotion, whatever it is you want, you're gonna have to give up something to get it. It's by the sweat of your brow. You're gonna have to work for it. You're gonna have to give up. It demands sacrifice. I don't care what it is. That's just reality. Once you learn how life actually works, except for how you want it to be, we want life to be just magical and all that kind of stuff. But it don't work like that. We have to learn how life works. Once we learn how it works and accept it for what it is, we can begin to have a good life. Once we learn how life works and accept it for what it is, then you can begin to have a good life. Then you can start living good. But first you have to receive it. You gotta accept it. Okay, life is like this. Life ain't terrible. We just don't know how it works. We was taught wrong. Okay, number 6. No one is special. That might sting a little bit, but no one is special. People that have done great. But what about people that have done great things? But what about people that have done it? You remember when I said the 5? Nothing worth having without sacrifice. But what about people like Michael Jordan, like Prince, like Michael Jackson? Michael Jackson sacrificed. Michael Jordan sacrificed. They sacrificed time. They sacrificed. You know how much time they put into their craft? All these great celebrities, all these great actors, all these great musicians and artists and stuff. Do you know how much time they put into their craft to get where they at? Some of them started since they was 5 and 6 years old. They put hours and hours and hours and hours, and people say, oh, people tell me you're a great keyboard player, or you this and this and that, and you be preaching the word, this and that. I've been studying the Bible since I was 7 years old. I've been reading and studying that Bible day in, day out. I used to put hours and hours. I didn't even know how much time, because it was so interesting to me. I didn't know how much time I was really spending doing it. Even doing music, I would spend 8, 9 to 10 hours a day playing music, learning different songs, learning different chords, learning different ways to play stuff, learning how to sing different stuff. I was putting hours and hours and hours. I put well over 10,000 hours into each of my crafts. People say I didn't just jump up and start doing this stuff. I didn't jump up and start preaching. Because the word was always in me since childhood. I've always been doing this since a child. I didn't have the courage to do it on social media and do it on video and do it on broadcasting platform, but the word was always in me. When people talk about stuff, the word would come out. They thought I was in grown. They tell me stay out of grown folks' business. I wasn't listening to grown folks. The word was just in me, because the truth would just come out. Where you know what I'm saying? I would have wisdom out of nowhere just come out. Blam! I was always preaching since I was 7 years old. Before then, I was always reading the Bible. I studied the Bible my whole life. This was my life. My life's work. Music is my life's work. I've been doing music. Been singing since I was 6. Playing instruments since I was 12. Over 20 years of my life was poured into this. So ain't nothing I just started. Sacrifice. Time. 8, 9 hours a day. Consistently, on a consistent basis. People don't just jump up and do stuff. I had to give up a lot of time. It didn't just happen. None of that just happened. So when it goes into knowing it's special, I'm not special. I just gave up a lot of time. I sacrificed a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of effort into what I wanted to do. Just like with this broadcasting stuff, I sacrificed a lot of time, a lot of energy, and a lot of effort into what I want to do. Ain't nobody special. Everybody got a calling, everybody got a purpose, everybody got a gift. And the reason why I say no one is special, because everybody is chosen for a specific purpose. If everybody's special, if everyone's special, then no one's special. Everybody got a gift. You got a gift, you just don't know what it is. You got a purpose, you just don't know what it is. You think you just worthless, you think you just useless. That ain't true at all. You don't know what it is. You undermining what God called you to do. You undervaluing what God has gave you. Well, I just got one gift. So what? Use that thing. It might touch millions. That one gift you got. Bill Gates ain't talented. I got more talent than Bill Gates, but guess what? He's a billionaire. I ain't no billionaire. You could take one gift. It's just how you use that gift. It's where you go with that gift. What you know how to do is all about your knowledge. You can take that one gift and go around the world with it. You have to know what you're doing. It's all about the knowledge. You got to know how to work it. You can take that one gift and be working it. You can have many gifts and be poor and be broke and not have anything. It's all about what you know. You got to know what you're doing. Don't matter. Don't mean you're useless. That don't mean it's useless. You undervaluing it. You're not placing the right value on it. You have to put value in your stuff. That's what it's all boiled down to. That's why I say no one is special. So, and number 7, don't be a hero. I say this. I learned this one powerful lesson I learned. Don't be a hero. The reason why I say that, you got people that try to save everybody else, try to look after everybody else, to try to cater to everybody else, giving all your money away, giving all your resources away. But you suffering, you homeless, you broke, you struggling, your kids is crying, your kids is neglected, your life is falling apart. You done gave all your resources away, and now you without. I had to learn this lesson the hard way. You give all your stuff away, now you left without. You give everything, now you looking like a fool. Don't be a hero. Don't try to save the world. You can't save the world. You limited. That's God's job. God is our hero. Christ gave his life. He was the hero. He already gave his life. He already became a sacrifice. All we have to do is obey him. All we have to do is receive the gift that he gave us and walk in his steps, be ordered by his steps. We have to do what he asks us to do. Now, if you're along the lines of obedience, now that's different, because you walk in the path that he's already set for you. You walking in his perfect will for your life. But if you sitting around trying to save this person, trying to help this person, trying to carry this person, spending all your money on this person, spending all your resources over here and there and there and there, and your house falling apart. God said, pitiful is a man that manages other people's houses, don't tend to his own. That's pitiful. He said, you're pitiful. Don't be a hero. Just do what you're supposed to do. Just apply the principles that God gave you, like paying tithes, paying offering. Nothing wrong with that. That's applying principles. That's obedience. All that is in the line of being obedient. God tell you to bless somebody, that's different. You're just being obedient. Being obedient is different from just giving everything away, trying to save the world. You can't save the world. Only thing you can do is what God tell you to do. That's it. Now, if you feel the need to bless somebody and it won't hurt you, great. But don't be up there trying to be a hero. Don't be no hero. That's just not the way to do it. That's not how you go. That's not the route you go. You have to do what God. You get blessed by applying the principles that God has already set in his word. And when he tells you something, we give, we get blessed for giving because he already had those principles and said he gave us a promise. Even when you pay your tithes now, he says, he's promised. He made a promise that he's going to bless us. See that I won't open the window and pour out a blessing that you won't have room to receive. It's a promise. He's telling you that what he's going to do. You apply principles. You sow your seeds in the good soil. You don't put seeds in sand. You don't throw them in the swimming pool. You're just throwing seeds out. You don't sow them in concrete, do you? No. You sow them where they can grow. You applying principles. You following instructions. You being obedient. Like watch as well as pray. I use that thing. Because a lot of people think just being spiritual is enough. That's why I do the Teed Up Show. That's why I do the Word from God and all of that stuff. And I do Terrell Speaks. Because I practice what I preach. I'm aware of my surroundings. I know it's people killing each other all around. I know the enemy is around. I'm not ignorant of his devices. I know what's going on around me. I know what's going on in this world around me. I know people is dying. I know you can't go out late at night no more. I know you can't leave your doors unlocked no more. I know there's certain things you can't do. I know it's certain you have to be aware of your surroundings on this earth. I can't just pray with God, holy, holy, and speaking in tongues, shana na ya ya ya, and I don't know what's going on around me. I don't know what's going on in the world. Things can happen. Somebody can rob you. Go out late at night, and you get robbed. You don't know your surroundings. You have to watch. You have to be aware. You have to be cautious and aware and alert. That's why I do current events. It ain't because I'm a worldly person. It's because I do current events so people be aware of what's going on. So we be aware of what's going on in our communities, or what's going on with our people, or what's going on with this generation, or where we need to go, what we need to fix, how we need to maneuver. That's the key. If we not doing that, we just praying. If we not watching, how we know what to pray for? If we not watching. You gotta know how. You gotta know what to pray for. You don't even know what's going on. See, but don't cast pearls before swine. What number is that? That's number 9. Don't cast pearls before swine. If you got peoples, you got enemies in your life, you got peoples that don't care nothing about you, you got folks that don't appreciate you, you got folks in your life that don't respect you or nothing like that, or don't know the value of the things that you have. It goes back to not devaluing yourself. Don't supply those people. Don't be feeding enemies and supplying people with stuff that they don't appreciate it. You ever gave your life and your energy and your time to people that don't appreciate it? The people that just, and then when you give them those resources, they attack you. They turn around and blame you. They turn around and stab you in the back. It seems like they mad because you tried to help them in the first place. That's what I mean. You can't, if you're dealing with unappreciative people, you can't give your whole all to those folks. You deal with them accordingly. I ain't saying you have to mistreat them. I ain't saying you have to disrespect them. I ain't saying none of that. You deal with people according to how they act. You still treat them, love them with the love of God, but you don't have to be a fool either. You don't have to giving people money that's only trying to use you, only trying to take advantage of you, only want to just see you down or trying to screw you over. You don't allow yourself to be put in the headlock by those people. You deal with them accordingly, because they're not trying to they don't want you to prosper. They don't want to see you making it. They don't want to see any of that kind of stuff. Not saying you mistreat them. Like I said, you still love them, but don't be no fool. Don't give somebody love that don't deserve it. Don't give somebody your heart that don't deserve it. Don't give somebody this certain type of lifestyle, this certain type of level of trust, this level of like I said, level of love that they don't deserve. We entertain too many people that don't deserve it. We give too many people our time that don't deserve our time. Casting pearls before swine. They'll turn around and attack you. Powerful lessons I've been learning. Live out of the mouth of God. It's one lesson I had to learn. You have to train yourself to have that relationship with God. You have to get to a level. You have to get to a place where you can hear His voice. Where you can almost hear His voice, or know how to communicate with Him. Because sometimes He give people visions, sometimes He give people dreams. Sometimes, because with me, He just talked to me. I can hear it clear as day. I could actually feel His presence at times. You can hear a certain voice in your head. It's just my experience now. Maybe telling you what to do, what not to do, where to go, where not to go, convict you when you're going off track, stuff like that. So you have to train your mind, train your spirit to connect to His spirit, to be able to follow that spirit. It's a voice that's going to be there in your mind. It's going to be a voice, it's going to be a dream, it's going to be a feeling, something. Use that as a guide that's going to guide you in and out of different situations. If you're in a situation, that voice is going to guide you. If you want to know what to do, if you don't know where to go, that voice is going to guide you. If it's cloudy, you don't know which direction to take, you'll know to be still. It took a lot of training to get to that point. That's the level of spiritual maturity. That way you won't move off impulse. You won't move and shake when soon as something happens. You're not shaking. You're not just trying to run. You're not trying to flee away from the situation, because you have now you can hear it. You train to hear His voice. You train to not move whenever He's speaking. Whenever He's trying to. Okay, it's been a lot of situations where it was just chaotic, and I couldn't move. I didn't want to make a decision because I couldn't hear His voice. It was just so confused. I didn't know which way to turn. I just be still. Calm my mind, calm my nerves, calm my heart, and then I can hear His voice. Okay, if I don't hear His voice, I just stay the course. You don't just change because of how you feel. You go according to what He's telling you. It's not always easy. Sometimes you want to quit. Sometimes you want to give up. Sometimes you want to run away. But you live out of the mouth of God. That way, you'll never be led astray. He might tell you to be still in certain situations. You can't move. You don't want to move. It's ill-advised to move, because sometimes the enemy, he'll try to make stuff happen in your life. He'll send stuff your way. He'll try to make your mind feel all kind of way. He'll try to manipulate your mind. He'll try to get you to see and think different types of ways to get you to do something stupid. But it's not where He wants you to go. It's not where God wants you to go. Okay, it's a trick. It's a trap. It's deception. It's pure deception. That's all it is. It's not something that you want to do. You want to follow his voice. You want to live out of his mouth. That way you can stay on path. That way you can continue to make wise decisions, because in order to have a good life, you have to continuously, on a consistent basis, make wise decisions. Consistently. And it only takes one bad decision to mess it all up. That's how sensitive it is. It ain't no joke. Pain equals growth. It's number 11. Pain equals growth. A lot of things you may have went through with certain people. A lot of things you may have dealt with certain people. May have hurt, may have cost you a lot. But that pain is going to give you growth. That pain is going to give you wisdom. That pain is going to teach you a lesson. Yeah, I had a lot of pain. Yeah, I had a lot of struggle. Yeah, I had a lot of heartache. But guess what? I wouldn't have the wisdom I have now if it wasn't for that. I wouldn't have the growth I have now if it wasn't for that. I wouldn't have been able to see my flaws. I wouldn't have been able to see where I went wrong. I wouldn't have been able to see all those things. Now I can prevent those situations from reoccurring. Life is about learning and growing and learn. It hurts. Yeah, sometimes the situation sucks. Sometimes the situation you may have wished you never dealt with that person or those people or been around those people or been ever. You wish you never encountered these people. But let me tell you something. You grew and learned from that situation. Once you heal from it, once you're able to heal from that pain, once you start forgiving yourself, forgiving those people, you'll learn that that situation was for your good. You'll learn that situation was just what you needed. You'll learn that situation was, without it, you wouldn't have been able to get where you're going. Without it, you wouldn't be the man or woman of God that you are today. Without it, you wouldn't be as far along as you are today. You wouldn't have the knowledge. You wouldn't have the experience. You wouldn't have the wisdom. You wouldn't have the intellect. You wouldn't have what God. You wouldn't, because God. In every situation, God's trying to put something in you. God's trying to put something in your life. He's trying to get you things. He's never trying to take anything away from you. He's trying to get something to you, chances are. If you're going through something, you're going through some hurt, you're going through some pain, he's trying to give you some knowledge. He's trying to give you some experience. Without experience, you can't teach. You can't do things. You can't do the things that he's called you to do. Imagine me trying to minister to people with no experience, with no pain, with no suffering. I ain't never went through nothing. I ain't never suffered nothing. But I'm trying to teach somebody how to live. No, it ain't gonna work, is it? It's not. I had to go through a lot so I could teach a lot. I know a thing or two because I've seen a thing or two. I had to feel a thing or two. I had to experience a thing or two. I had to go through all of that stuff. Everything that I preach about, I done went through it. Everything. I done went through it. When it comes to relationships, when it comes to depression, when it comes to loneliness, when it comes to sadness, when it comes to all that stuff, making bad decisions, when it comes to a lot of stuff, I done dealt with it. That's the only way I can preach it. I can't preach it if I ain't never dealt with it. That's why I don't judge people. I can just tell people how to deal with it. I've been through bitterness, been through anger, been through all of that kind of stuff. Self-pity, all of it. Addiction, I done dealt with it. You name it, I done been through it. Because when he calls his people, you have to have that experience. You have to be prepped. That goes back to no one is special. That's what helped me through that. Ain't nobody special. I'm not special. He had to prep me for this. I'm not just gifted. He just gave me a word and just put it in my belly. No, I had to go through some stuff, man. In order to preach about it, I had to experience it. I had to experience everything I'm talking about. I had to go through it. I had to be trained and prepped. I had to be prepped for this. Still had to be prepped. Every human being is a human being, but I had to go through more preparation. I went through a lot more at 33 than some other people went through in their whole life. You got some other people that went through way more than me. That's how they able to preach and go through their experience. And it's experience. That's all ministry is. You teaching from experience. That's what it is. Don't go this way. Why? Because I went that way. It like to got me. It didn't work. It don't work that way. I've tried it. It don't work. You're not gonna get anywhere doing that. How do you know? Because I did it. I did it for years, and I didn't get anywhere. Learn from me, and go the way I'm saying go, because the way I'm telling you is the right way. Because I know from experience. I went that way. The way you going leads off a cliff. Because I fell off that cliff. I had to get back up. I had to climb up off that cliff. I spent 20 years trying to get back up off of there. Don't you go over there. If you go over there at your own doing now. I done told you. That's what ministry is. It's growth. You can't teach and you can't learn without experiencing pain. That's why they call it growing pains. You have to learn some stuff. It hurts. It's uncomfortable. But pain, that's the only way you're going to grow. It's the only way you're going to progress is to have to go through something, have to experience some kind of heartache, have to experience some kind of sickness, have to experience some kind of trouble, have to experience some kind of suffering. Everybody want to preach. Everybody want an anointing. Everybody want to be a pastor. Everybody want to do all these things, but ain't went through nothing. Ain't dealt with nothing. Ain't trying. They want a title so bad. They want this stuff so bad. You don't want what I got because you would have to go through what I went through. You don't want it. I had to go through. I didn't even want it. You had to go through some stuff to get it. I didn't want it because I knew I was going to have to go through some stuff. I already knew what was coming. That's why I ain't want it. I was running for years. Because I knew what went with it. I knew what came with it. You ain't going to progress. You ain't going to have no growth without some kind of pain, without some kind of sacrifice, without some kind of, you're going to have some turbulence. Embrace each new season as it comes and do not run from your destiny. Well, we have to know when certain seasons are coming to an end. We have to know as you get older. You got even young people that may hear this. As you get older, you're going to find out that certain seasons are coming to the end. If you go into high school, you're in high school or whatever. Once you leave high school, you're going to find out those days ain't coming back. College, people that's in college. When I was in college, I found out those days, when I was in college, them days ain't coming back. I'm not 19 no more. I'm not 20 no more. I'm not 24. I'm not 21 anymore. Those days are gone. Those days are forever gone. 33. That whole life is past. All of that is gone. I can't go back to that. I can't go back and be a freshman in college. I can't go back and be a sophomore in high school. That's over. All those days are over with. Over. I can't go back to that kind of stuff. That's done. Now I have to be an adult. Now I have to be a grown-up. Now I have to be a man, a father. All that stuff that we did in college, all that stuff, all that is gone. We are adults now. I'm an adult. That life, those years are gone. That's over. It's a new season. So a lot of things took me a while to shift and adjust to. Adulthood was one of them. Everything changed when you grow up. Everything changed when you're grown, when you're an adult. All that stuff changes. It's not about just, it's a whole nother life, a whole nother lifestyle, a whole nother way of living, a whole nother way of doing things. It's gone. When you're in a new season, you have to accept the change. When you're shifting, when you're in transition, you have to receive it. You have to accept it. You have to be able to adjust to that new season. You have to. That's why I say watch as well as pray. You have to be aware of everything that's going on. You have to notice that it's shifting. You have to notice that it's changing. The world that we're living in now is changing. It's a new season coming. Everything is changing over. Things are not going to be the same. Even when COVID hit, everything changed. Everything shifted. Anytime it goes for your life, anytime a new season hits your life, you have to be able to adjust. You have to be able to. That's why I teach people how to think, because I was taught how to think growing up. A lot of people don't know how to think. A lot of people in my community don't know how to think. A lot of people today don't know how to think. So I preach a certain way. I want people to know how to think. If I don't number one person catch it, that's enough. I want people to learn how to think. I want people. That's why I do these shows the way I do them. Sometimes my delivery is harsh, but I want you to think. It gets your attention. It gets people attention. If I'm nice and you can't do that. No. I want people to hear it, receive it and be able to think about it. Because we don't think, we'll never be able to adapt, adjust, and change. We'll be stuck in the same rut all our life. I don't want you to be stuck in the same rut for the next 40 years. I don't want you to miss your season. I don't want you to be you sitting around wondering why life ain't happening. You waiting on life to happen when you done had plenty of opportunities. You didn't receive the shift when the season was trying to change and shift for you to do something else. You still stuck in what you're trying to do. I started out detailing cars. The season done changed. I was a minister of music. The season done changed. He took me off in that, and he wanted me to start preaching the gospel. If I hadn't recognized, I'd still been there miserable, trying to do something that he has no longer ordained me to do. The ordination has ran out for that. My time to run out for that. I was sitting there still trying to play, still trying to do something. Other people were saying, well, you gotta obey God, you gotta do it, so you gotta keep playing. God was telling me to do something else. You gotta look at the seasons. You gotta look at that. Goes back to living out of His mouth too. All these lessons is running together. It's made me who I am, and these lessons right here are making me improve. And maybe somebody else can hear these lessons, and it can impact their life in a certain way as well. Because you have to embrace each new season. Like I say, I'm at the point in my life, I want different things. I was a bachelor for a while. I don't want that anymore. Now I want marriage. Now I want family. Now I want to actually put that whole life behind. That season I had recognized. First I was running from it. I had to recognize those years are over. That's over. All that's over. All that's done. All that's through. It's time out. Time out for being a bachelor. Time out for being just dissing. It's just being me. Now it's time for me to pass this knowledge down to some offspring. Now it's time for me to put everything into perspective, as far as family, as far as being a husband, as far as being a father, as far as being over a ministry. Because I got my own online ministry, so I'll be focused more on that. Be focused more on my responsibilities. It's just shifting. It's going on. It's time for adulthood. Them days is over. All that's over with. Time for playing around and running around. All that stuff is done. It's over. Them years is over with. That's long gone. It's over. So I'm just learning, and be careful. Number 13, be careful and consider your actions and how they affect other people. When you do stuff, when you just thinking that you just going around and doing stuff, I'm just doing this and doing that, it won't hurt nothing. You don't know. Just like if you want to be a quote-unquote player, I got news for you. You don't know whose life you affecting. You don't know who you hurting. You don't know whose life you changing. You don't know who getting hurt behind what you're doing. Anybody, whether it's man or woman, you can't just go around doing stuff. You have to take people's thoughts and feelings into consideration. You can't just think that you just gonna go around doing what you want, being how you want, acting how you want, and it's just okay. Oh well, I just live to see another day. No, sometimes certain things that we do affect other people. The things we do, we all live in this world together. So if you're just going around doing stuff, you don't know who you're affecting. You don't know who's watching you. You don't know who's affected by what you're doing. So we can't do that. We can't just go around. We have to be considerate. We have to take that into consideration. Who, you know what I'm saying? We dealing with somebody, we can't just mess over. We can't just do. Oh, I'm just gonna do how I want to do it. I'm gonna do them how I want to do them. We don't realize that we actually hurting that person. We don't realize that the things we doing and saying to these people is actually hurting these people, is actually scarring these people. You don't know what effect it has on that person. Take people's feelings life into consideration. We might do something to change their whole life. Their whole life is thrown off by certain things that we do. So we have to be cautious, have to be mindful before we just go around doing, you know. And once we realize that we can't just go around doing, because once we're more cautious of our actions and how they affect other people and how they hurt other people, and sometimes we might just be throwing salt in people's wounds. They may have already been through enough pain, and we add more pain to their life. We just add more to it. We do selfish things that only hurt people more, that only break people down even further than what they've already been broken down. So we can't just do and say what we want, treat people in the kind of way. We have to be cautious of our actions and how they affect other people, because how you treat somebody may affect how they live. It may affect either them committing suicide or not. You don't know what they're dealing with. You don't know what they're going through. So we have to be cautious. Be cautious of that. We have to take that into consideration. You don't know what you have until it's gone. It's the last one. And I'm done. After this, you really don't know what you have until it's gone. Now I can say I had that experience myself, because I've had some good stuff. I had some good people in my life. Ran across some good people. Some good situations. And you really don't know what you have. When they leave your life and you don't have them in your life anymore, and you don't have that support system, that person, that's why I said you're not owed multiple times to screw over people. When that person gets fed up and leaves, or when they're done with you, or when they're at the point where they want to start a new life, you don't know what you got until it's gone. Once you realize what you actually had and it's too late to get it back, I don't want you to experience that. I don't want nobody to feel that. I don't know what that's not an easy thing to have to deal with. It's not an easy thing to live with or get over. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. That's a painful experience. That's a painful lesson to have to learn the hard way. I don't want nobody to learn that the hard way. All these lessons I'm talking about, I don't want nobody to learn the hard way. I had to learn this the hard way. Hard knocks. I don't want nobody to learn this stuff the hard way. I don't. So, if you got somebody in your life, you know they good, you know they worth their salt. Again, you don't know what you got till it's gone. If you know you have support, if your life got easier when they came and joined your life, if your life was harder before you met them, chances are you don't know, and chances are that's a good person to have. If you met them and your life was easier, if your life is easier now, your life, you feel like you have the support that you need, they show care and concern for you, yeah, you better hold on to what you got. Because if you lose what you got, you walk away from what you got, you got to live with that. Don't nobody, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I don't wish that on nobody. Should nobody have to learn that. But some of us have to learn it. So, just saying that to, you don't know what you got till it's gone. I don't want nobody to have to learn that. A lot of people do, but that's just one thing. But that was pretty much it. I don't have anything else for that topic. This was fun doing it this way, in this format, in the audio broadcasting format for once. Hadn't done it in a while, but in the future, like I said, it's gonna be more video based, video content, live streams, different things like that. I'm planning on doing more things with the channel on YouTube. I may share these videos, future videos on Instagram, things like that. But for now, I'm gonna be taking a break to kind of improve my content, trying to tweak my channels and stuff. I'm gonna be more focused on the YouTube channel and actually doing live streams on the channel, and that way it'll be in better format, because I like to actually engage. You can see my face, things like that. I would rather have it that way, in actual show format, video wise. But like I said, if you live for God, believe what they say, He's gonna take you a mighty long way. Hope y'all enjoyed it, and be sure to tune in to the next season, because it's gonna be new, improved. It's gonna be better than this one and even the original T-Dub show. So look forward to seeing y'all on my channel, because that's mainly where my content's gonna be. And I love y'all. Peace out.